morning, UPBOptionMillionaires.com on this Monday, August 6, 2018. A half an hour before the opening bell, S&P 500 futures are down fractionally after starting the overnight hours, starting the week up about 0.1%. You can look at S&P 500 futures, maybe a double top. Can we say double? I don't think so. I think the trend remains up, and I think new all-time record highs are coming, possibly as soon as this week, as crazy as that sounds. You can look here at just a shorter-term time perspective here. We're rolling in to the opening bell here about a half hour away. And morning weakness has been good for the market to keep the bears involved and the bulls kind of rethinking their position. And then all of a sudden, we'll get this rip to the upside. Remember, we had morning weakness last week, a really sharp move to the downside. Remember, China was down over 2%. Futures melted all night long. We were down almost 1% on the NASDAQ. And then we opened and the buy bots took over. And look at this move we had to the upside. A continuation after the jobs report on Friday. So I think this upside is going to continue to short to medium term. I think we possibly hit new all-time highs this week. That Friday action had the VIX breaking under 12 and closing under it for the first time since we collapsed back at the start of the year. Look at the VIX here. First time we got to close under 12. We've had some wicks under it, but if not closed under that 12 level for the VIX, that is a very key break. I think ultimately signaling that we're going to get more doldrums. Remember last year, all you heard about is just how relaxed how this market's just shrugging its shoulders at everything. And finally we get some volatility. We don't hear that anymore, but we're back to it again. You can see also the volatility index, the VXX, breaking down possibly under 30 in today's trading session. So keep an eye on that. Some stocks to watch this week. I remain in some calls in Vitamin Shop. This is working off its lows. A lot of people on the way down. This was a stock that was over $60 a share back in 2013. In each of the earnings reports to the downside, it was like, all right, this is the bottom. Here it is. This is the bottom. And two really nasty earnings report reactions in 2017. The last of which came last summer at this time. This earnings report back in August 2017, a sharp move, traded under $5, and ultimately at the end of 2017, got down to under $3 a share for Vitamin Shop. That's when some investors came in. The same that bought RCII for a 50% premium last month, took up a stake, and we have 35% new positions opened just when two investors alone. And you see the stock is starting to turn around. Look, we got a momentum buy signal here on a 10-year chart. Looks like we're going to break through these gaps. We'll see. Earnings report comes out Wednesday, I believe, before the opening bell. Vitamin Shop, the chart. That doesn't sound good. Anyway. We can see that we're back into that earnings gap, looking for a move back over 10. We'll see if that earnings report is robust. Another chart to watch. GameStop, you can see this wedge here, and I think we're going to break to the upside. This is a 10-year support trend line that's held, so I look for this to break to the upside for GME. And here we are, the SPY, the S&P 500 ETF, the spiders, just a stone's throw away from record highs, looking really good. Same with the NASDAQ. The triple Qs just off a record high last week, looking to recover that and break to new all-time record high. Small caps looks for a break up to the 170 level. I think it's 175. Somebody was asking me the other day, where do you think this market's headed? I think SPY 300, QQQ possible 200, IWM 185, 190, 200. XLF financials are really taking the baton here. We broke out of this consolidation wedge here, and we are breaking to the upside. I think this could head back over 30 in the next couple months. JP Morgan Chase breaking out. Goldman Sachs taking its time. Look at this breakout. Possible. We got to watch momentum here. We got a trigger here. Goldman Sachs could possibly pull back to the support line at 225. Citigroup breaking out. Bank of America breaking out. So look for the financials take a baton to move the market to new all-time record highs. XLE Energy ETF continues to take its time here around a long-term trendline support resistance level. Is it going to break higher up to the 90s that we saw back in the middle of 2014? Something to watch. And a bonus chart today. Well, actually, go to the VXX because that's breaking down. Here's the VX. The 10-year VXX, 120,000 to 3032. But you can see it's breaking down out this morning, possibly going to break under that 30 mark. Let's get in a little closer because you really can't see it after this dramatic move to the downside. Remember, VXX used to get beaten down every day. Well, look at it now. We had a sharp move to the downside from the 3250. Remember that Thursday collapse where we had the VXX rally about 3 or 4%, and now poised to break that key $30 level. You can see it broke key support back at the 38 level. Did not look, kind of kissed it, could not break above it, and now that 30 level is going to be a key break to break it back down into the 20s and possible new all-time lows for the VXX. Get it back on that down every day train. TLT, long-term chart, head and shoulders, toppy looking. Look at the bond market. We have a possible move to the downside here to 112.50 level for TLT. And what I had one more chart. Oh yeah, Mosaic. This is the chart I've been looking at. You know, anyone who was trading around 2007 remembers this was a very popular stock. Was up over $160 a share, and of course, financial crisis dropped just like U.S. Steel did from about 160 down to 20 and change. Well, look, this beautiful wedge pattern we've finally broken out. It's got a lot of upgrades recently. Earnings report, I believe, is after the closing bell today. So I might look for some calls here from us, but not weekly. Probably more like December or out into 2019. All right, that's it. UPBOptionMillionaires.com. About 20 minutes before the opening bell, I think the market's headed to new all-time record highs. Of course, it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be one straight stick to the upside to new all-time record highs. The market's going to try and whip you out of your position. So, you just get into stocks that you really think are poised for upside, like a PayPal, which I think is going to break back over $90 a share. Square upgraded this morning. I think that's going to continue the upside, despite whatever happens here to short-term gyrations for the market, or a tweet, or some sort of tariff news that's been terribly annoying to trade short-term options with this market. All right, UPB. I'll see you in the chat. Remember, have a great trading day. Goodbye.